Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. Today, only 2 of the fingers on my left hand are painted, so y'all know what that means. Another neutralizer video. I did not plan to wear purple to coincide with the purple polishes we've got today, but I guess my spirit just knew that that's where we were going today. So sorry for all the clinking that you're hearing down here. So if you are wondering what I'm talking about, just to give a brief recap, I've been doing for the past couple months a series about testing out various light purple nail polishes, some of which have intentionally been advertised as neutralizing base coats, others that just happen to be like, say, a light purple cream, crelly, or jelly polish, all for the purpose of seeing which one I will end up preferring for using as a neutralizing base to help cancel out the yellow color, the yellow staining that's in my nails. It has been a journey. I'll put a link to the playlist in the description of this video in case you want to get caught up. And for this video, which is going to be the last one that I film before I then film my overall final thoughts and wrap up, this is going to be where I test 3 neutralizers. Well, 2 that are technically advertised as neutralizers, and another one that we'll get to that. 3 from brands that are new to me. So I'm excited to, see how these work, not just as neutralizers, but also as my first exposure to these 3 particular brands. I've got this one, Probelle Nail Concealer. And by the way, as always, once I get over to my nail desk and we get started, I'm going to give you all the product details on these. This next one is the Londontown Illuminating Nail Concealer. And then this last one here actually came in through a viewer suggestion. So thank you to Sandrine2603, who commented on one of my earlier videos and said that this one, which is it's a lacquer from D&D Gel. It's always confusing with that brand, I know, because I think they're technically called D&D Gel, and they do sell gel polishes, but they also sell like regular nail lacquer like this. And Sandrine said that this lacquer in the shade 2470 is their preferred neutralizer that they use, and it's called Gloss Moon, I think, on here. The lighting is kind of hard to read, and the word is hard to read in this lighting, but yeah. So I appreciate that suggestion, because I'm always open to, like, hey, even if this isn't advertised as a neutralizer, I want to see what it can do. So yeah, these are 3 new to me brands. As always, I'm going to go through an overview of like product details for like pricing, how much I pay for it is pricing. Yes. How long it took for me to receive it in the mail, all those things like that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get neutralizing. As always, I like to begin by showing y'all what's on my nails today. And let me not do it on this hand, but on this one. So I know this is reading a little bit dark on the indoors here. So I think I have a clip from outside that I can put over there and kind of show you another view of this. But this is a super dark purple, like plum purple jelly base filled with lots of multicolor holographic glitter. As a foundational base to get full opacity, I started with a matching cream polish, this one from Cracked called Blacker the Berry, and then on top of that I put 2 coats of Jen and Berry's Evidence of Trespass. So well, first, I really like this polish a lot, but also I'm super excited because this is part of my new series that I started filming about trying my untried nail polishes, and I'm super hyped for it. So you all will be seeing this polish again in a future video soon-ish. That one, it's the way I'm structuring it, it's going to take a little bit longer to film. You'll see why once that video is up. But yeah, I've got to say, so far from the way that I've been approaching it, it has been a really helpful way for me to think about going into my untried pile and seeing what I want to keep and seeing how I want to wear these. So yeah, be on the lookout for that sometime soon. So now let's start by getting into the product details. This is the first one here, the D&D Lacquer 2470 Gloss Moon. Yeah, that was that Gloss Moon writing on there is like really hard to read in lower lighting, but now I'm like, oh yeah, that said Gloss Moon the whole time. So this, I paid $8 for it before taxes and shipping. I ordered it on April 18th. It shipped on April 20th, and it was delivered to me on April 25th. I would say, you know, for these types of comparisons, especially as you look back on some of my other videos that are from indie brands that tend to have slightly longer processing times, I would definitely say if you are going to try to do any head-to-head comparisons, I would recommend doing it not based on like ordered to delivered, but more so ordered to shipped, because that really is going to let you know what was within that maker's control. Yeah, so that is everything for this first one here. Unfortunately, I was unable to find an ingredients list for this on the D&D website. So if any of you do happen to have any kind of product sensitivities, particularly as it relates to PVB, polyvinyl butyrol, I would definitely encourage you to send them an email. Just contact them and see if they can get you that information. And also, this is an 18 milliliter size bottle. Next is the Probelle Nail Concealer in the color Lilac Glow. This is in a 15 milliliter bottle. I bought this one off of Amazon. It kind of is like an option of like, I was curious to see like, hey, if you're someone who like needs a neutralizer like within a day or two, what are the options that are out there for that? And so for this one, y'all, the price before taxes and shipping was $14.99. I'm just putting that out there. I ordered it on April 5th. I don't recall when it was shipped, but it was delivered on April 8th. So it was, you know, within the prime standard, like 1 to 2 day kind of deal. Yeah, this one, it's from a brand that I've never used nor have I heard of before this, so I'm excited to give this one a try. Also, I am gonna put up here a screenshot of the ingredients that I pulled from the Probelle website for this, and I do not see PVB listed in there, but as always, if you do have any other kind of ingredient sensitivities, definitely take a look through that before looking further into this one. And finally, we have from Londontown their Kerr Illuminating Nail Concealer in the shade Lavender. So Lavender Illuminating Nail Concealer. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to put it out there. This is a 12 milliliter bottle. This was another one that I bought on Amazon as just to kind of see like, hey, if you wanted to buy a neutralizer on Amazon or a site where you can get it within like a couple days, what are the options? For a 12 milliliter bottle, before taxes, this tiny little bottle was $19.53. I'm just going to sit with that for a moment. Okay. Just like the Probelle one, I ordered it on April 5th and it was delivered to me on April 8th. So very quick turnaround time. I'm just going to say, like, for the amount I paid for this tiny little bottle, this thing had better like change my life. It better, you know, cure all my ailments. I'm just saying, like, this will be an interesting experiment though. You know, the question of like, for this price point, for this tiny little bottle, will it work some magic? So one other thing too, with ingredients, I'm going to put the screenshot over here. This does not contain polyvinyl butyrol, PVB, in it. So yeah, I think that's all for our overview. So let's go ahead and get into our swatching. Okay, so here are my yellow fingernails. Hey. And we're going to start by putting on the swatches of these for the first time and just kind of talking about what I'm noticing as far as formula, coverage, any kinds of observations. I also want to point out that this is the first time that I am even like opening any of these bottles, so I know nothing about them. Like I can kind of see from like the little air bubble in this one that it is maybe a little bit more watery than I was hoping it would be, but you know, I'm going into this with an open mind. So starting with the D&D Gloss Moon, here we go. And I'm going to be putting these on my fingers from left to right. So Gloss Moon is going to be on the left. Sorry, y'all, my hands are like extra shaky today. I don't know why. Sometimes that just happens to me when I've had like a busy, long day. It almost kind of feels like my body knows that it's like holding on to some, like if I've been on the go like all day, my body just doesn't know that it's okay to like, hey, let's slow it down. We can stop now. Yeah, so I know Sandrine in their comment mentioned this dries down pretty fast, and they were not kidding. Like I blinked and it was dry. Dang, okay. So that's why they were saying you're not really going to have a whole lot of time to work with it and manipulate it. So move fast. Okay. Not a whole lot of coverage just yet, but we're going to come back to that. Middle finger will be for the Probelle nail concealer. This one also, yeah, let me show you how these look side by side for just like a bottle comparison. So D&D on the left, Probelle in the middle, and then our Londontown on the right. So it's interesting that the one in the middle, Lilac Glow, is the most like pinkish neutral looking. The others are more purple, but hey, I'm keeping an open mind. You never know how some of these might end up surprising us. So looking at the formula in the bottle, this also looks a little bit more on the thinner side formula wise. Yeah, so let's see how that goes in the middle with Probelle. Okay, slightly thicker formula here. Like I can actually see this one on here. There we go. You see how that's giving a little bit more coverage than there. Like I see a change starting to happen there. Now let's go to, sorry, okay, I promise I'm going to try to not be super salty about this one the whole time. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, y'all. Okay. I will say though, I mean, this, from the bottle, it looks like it might actually be my preferred consistency of formula. How it's basically like, it looks like it's almost a cream polish. So maybe that'll be a good thing. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's go and put this on. Okay. Also, this one looks like it needs I did shake all of these before I started, but I'm noticing this one looks like it needs a little bit more of a shake before I start. I want to give it a fair shot. Okay. There we go. That looks a little better. I'm happy that all of these have a paddle brush, by the way. Yay. You know, this is kind of surprising that as much as this looked like a cream polish in the bottle, it seems to have a pretty much very similar consistency to the Probelle one, if maybe slightly more coverage to it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back for the D&D one now. And maybe this will shock me on the second coat. Like, you know, it's gonna magically give a lot more fuller coverage. And this is, as I'm doing this, I'll mention that everyone's nails, like if you are someone who has yellow stainage on your nails, not everyone's nails are going to be stained to the same level as mine. So something like this, for those of you who may not have as much stainage, that could be a better fit for you. Whereas for me, I do need all the coverage I can get. So I got my little cleanup brush on the side. Now, yeah, so with where we are here, 2 coats of the D&D looks almost exactly like 1 coat of the Probelle, which is not yet as full coverage as the Londontown. Okay. I could probably get the D&D built up more, but 2 coats of a neutralizer is kind of like the max I would want to do, and my ideal would be like ideally just 1. So 2nd coat of Probelle. Okay, this is an interesting one, how it, like, the way that it looks on the nail is very different to me than the way it appears in the bottle. Like here, okay, let me put the cap on here so it doesn't like spill out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you see in the bottle how it looks barely like off-white? That's what I thought I was gonna get, but like on my finger, it reads as way more pinkish purple. And that's a good thing. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Okay, Probelle. And now Londontown for coat number 2. Yeah, so just like before, the Londontown is definitely the most opaque of the 3 here, because you can see that I've got I can still see my visible nail line for the Londontown one, but it's kind of interesting how we're going from least sheer or most sheer to most opaque over here. I did not plan it out that way. I just went in terms of pricing, but it's just funny how that kind of ended up working out. So I'm gonna put these over on the side for now, and we'll get into our first like swatching test here. So beginning with our dark blue jelly. This is from Blank Beauty, and it's called Blueberry Jam. So for those of you who may be newer to the concept of a neutralizer, I encourage you to go into the playlist that I've linked in the description for this series and to check out the earlier ones that I did for Crack Polish and Zoya. Not for them, but like I did related to their products. In those videos, I show what it looks like when I swatch out some of these polishes over like a bare yellow nail. So in case you're like, why does this even matter? You'll see like basically blue plus yellow makes this end up looking green. So let's see how this goes over the D&D. And also every time I say that, I think of my husband because he's into the other D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. So this may surprise me. We'll see. So, this is what we've got so far. I'll also point out that another reason why I started doing this series was to see not only what these products can do for me in terms of being a yellow staining neutralizer, but how well they also work as being some kind of blurring base coat to hide the visible nail line there. I always give this disclaimer in these videos, and I just want to make sure that I say it again to be really candid and fair, that these products are not typically advertising themselves to be blurring base coats, so I'm not like holding that against them. What I am doing though is thinking, well, if I have a need for both a yellow stainage neutralizer and wanting to blur my visible nail line, I don't want to have to use 2 separate products for that. I would prefer to get all of that together in one single product. So that's another thing that I'll be looking for as I test this out. Oh my goodness, my shaky arm needs to stop. Also, I know that can happen to me sometimes if I've been doing like a lot of lifting of something and I'm like, what was I carrying that I'm like, my arm's just like, girl, let's chill with it. Okay, so you can already see the difference here in coverage, that the D&D is still pretty sheer and sort of neutralizing the yellow underneath, but over here we're starting to get with the Probelle, we're getting definitely into the territory of, I feel like this blue is coming through completely blue the way that I want it to. And yeah, I'm also not really seeing much nail line underneath, so that's awesome. Going on to Londontown. Okay. Yeah, this one is going pretty well too, as I would expect, with it being the most opaque option that we've got of the bunch. Just cleaning this up a bit. Yeah. I think that probably the recurring theme we're going to see throughout this video, and I'm so sorry if I end up repeating myself, will be, yeah, we've got, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Most sheer on the left with the D&D, most opaque on the right with Londontown, and Probelle being in the middle there. I do want to see how this changes, or how this may change, if I go back and add in a second coat. Okay. So I think for the second coat with the D&D, this one is, it's definitely not what I would recommend for a blurring base coat based on this, no. But I do think that we are starting to get into some territory of having it be like neutralizing. Okay, I think I already have an idea of what I would recommend that product for, but I'm going to save my final thoughts for the end. Okay, second coat over here over Probelle is looking really good. Yeah, this looks like blue. I'm not getting swampy vibes at all. And over our Londontown, yeah, same thing. Looks pretty good. So yeah, here's what we've got so far when using a dark blue jelly. I'm gonna clean these off, go through another round of application of the of our neutralizers, and then jump into our lighter blue jelly. So our next test is going to be over this lighter blue jelly from Cirque called Cobalt Jelly. I'm going to put this to the side for now so that I can show you application one more time. We've got some other tests coming up later in this video, but for those I'm gonna do all of the neutralizer application off camera. So starting again with the D&D, I want to keep a closer eye on it this time to see just how quickly it dries, because that was fast. I mean, I think that is a good benefit of this though. Like if you are someone who is very much in a hurry often and you don't want to have to wait for a lot of coats to dry, hey, this dried super fast. I mean, I can see it just drying up like right there in front of my eyes. The Probelle one is next. Okay. And yeah, and this one just amazes me by how different it looks on the nail compared to in the bottle, but pretty good formula. I mean, thoughts on the $14.99 price point for 15 milliliters? Yeah, I would say initial thoughts, like if you're in a pinch and you absolutely needed some kind of neutralizer and this was the only one that you could get like off of Amazon or something, then maybe not that bad, but I would definitely say
only if this is a product that you would anticipate needing to use more frequently than just like a one-time thing. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, the Londontown, while I do like the better coverage and the better opacity of it, so far I don't think I can really justify that cost for such a small bottle. But alas, let's go on to our second coat of each of these, starting with the D&D. Okay. Yeah, for our wedding, my husband Jack and I, we had a little bit that represented him, a little bit that represented me, and a little bit or a whole lot that represented us. And one of the things that we did that represented him, and then also us in a way, was that with him being into D&D and having, and also like other games that involve like miniatures, we made these like custom little miniatures of ourselves, and we got them printed up. He painted them, and yeah, it was great. I think I have a picture I can insert to show y'all. It was the cutest thing, and unfortunately they didn't end up being positioned the right way in front of our wedding cake. It was like, if I remember, like it was me holding a loaf of bread and like he was running to chase the bread. It was a thing. So anytime I think of like that brand D&D, it just makes me think of wonderful things about Jack. So Probelle. Okay, yeah, this one goes on pretty smooth, and I've never heard of this brand before, but you know, as I was researching and stuff for this video, I was just like, let me just Google Neutralizers on Amazon or search and see what comes up, and these two popped up, and I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna get use out of all the products that I buy, because y'all see how stained my nails are and how often I change my nails up. So it's nice to know that everything I bought for this video series will definitely be used. Okay, so once again, here we are with 2 coats of each. And yeah, I think the D&D could be like, yeah, if you are someone who doesn't really have significant yellow stainage on your nails, and you are someone who prefers a quicker drying polish, this could be a pretty good option for you there. So let's bring back over Cobalt Jelly and see how this looks. Oh, I just love that blue. I always say this in my videos, but seriously, every time I film a video, I'm like, oh yeah, why am I not wearing that polish right now? I should wear that next. My mind is always wanting to change and do this and do that. Okay, so Cobalt Jelly. Oh, this one's looking a little bit better over the D&D. Yeah, okay. That is giving some hope for me here. Yeah, so absolutely, I think how if you are someone with less yellow stainage than I have, that could be a pretty viable option for you. Going on to the next one with Probelle. Let's see. Yeah, oh, that's such a beautiful blue. I am so I've mentioned a little bit ago about the Polish and Beauty Expo coming up. That's another thing I'll link to in the description of this video in case y'all missed my video about that. It's as of filming this, it's only a little under, I think like 2 weeks away or something like that. And so it's not coming up like this weekend, but like the next weekend. And so I've been going back and forth in my mind over like, what kind of, like, what nail polish am I going to wear? You know, so many to choose from. And I think I have one polish chosen, but the others I'm going to have to go back and forth on. We'll see. But maybe blue, because look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is such a beautiful blue. And even over here, like it's kind of doing something, you know. Let's go on for the second coat. Yeah. So yeah, with PBE, I'll be there for the 2 days of it. So like the first day at the meet and greet reception, and then also the second day like the shopping expo. And so I'm like, hey, 2 days equals 2 different manicures. So yeah, 2 different outfits also equals 2 different manicures. So definitely gonna have 2 different options. I know what one of them is going to be. Like, I'm just gonna say, y'all know I love a good vampy red, and my emotional support red reflective glitter topper, so that had to be one of them. Oh, that is pretty. But you can still see though, okay, like as pretty as these 2 are, and I think the D&D one is it's doing its best over here too, but can you kind of see the difference but in like the not the saturation, but kind of like the type of blue that we're getting here versus this one that is just a bit darker, I think, because with it not having as much of an opaque coverage as what we have over here, that's not giving us a lighter base to work from. So again, choice is something to keep in mind. Like I would say, if you're already planning to make an order with D&D lacquer and you are like, oh yeah, I've got, I want to try a neutralizer, this could be a good one to add in, especially if they're having a sale. But yeah, I really like these 2 here. I can barely see a difference in how much better to my eye the Londontown one is performing, but you know, just barely. So I'm gonna clean these off. I'm gonna reapply the neutralizers off camera, and then everyone's favorite diva nail polish from the series is going to be making their appearance. Okay, so I have swatched these again, or put down 2 coats on each of these. So wait. Where is she? You all already know. Everyone's favorite diva of this series. Where did she go? Oh, I think I hear some theatrical singing in the distance. Kiss today, goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow. Unreleased prototype. It's okay. It's okay. I will not put you away permanently after this. I'll try to use you. Okay. So once again, welcome to Olivia Theater on Demand, or even when you didn't demand it, but you're gonna get it anyway. This is the iconic Bee's Knees Lacquer unreleased prototype. To be clear, Bee's Knees Lacquer puts out like many, or has put out in the past, many different unreleased prototypes. So this is by no means the one, but this one has become iconic throughout this series because it is by far the most sheer polish in my collection. And so for this next test, we are more so, we're not really looking at this from a neutralizer standpoint, because as you can see, this is like, it's got like gold and yellow tones in it. This is going to be our fun test of seeing how well these polishes work as a blurring base. So let's do it over the D&D. You know, I really have come to find some joy in this polish. Like, is it doing anything right now? I mean, not really. But I think it's because over a yellow stained nail, you don't really get to appreciate the yellow that unreleased prototype is bringing to the table, you know? So over the Probelle, I think this will get a little better. It's just a very subtle one. Yeah. Again, we're not really getting a whole lot of blurring with this, because I mean, I can still see my visible nail line here. Unreleased prototype is not going to cover up any of that. This is absolutely one that I will use as a topper moving forward, because I hadn't really been using it much for anything at all up until this series. But yeah, you can see how when you are using a super sheer polish, the difference here. Like, yeah, I think I'm definitely getting the most coverage with the Londontown, not really much with the D&D, middle of the range with the Probelle. So yeah, everyone say goodbye to unreleased prototype. What I did for love. The final polish I'll be testing over these neutralizers today is from KB Shimmer, called I'll Be There. Oh, I always rave about this one, and you can see we're getting a bit of a fill line in there. This beautiful like blue flake polish that I know I've referred to before is like if you took a mermaid and just like shoved it into a nail polish bottle, you would get this right here. Just everything, just beachy vibes. I love it. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a combined test of how well does it neutralize, even though, yes, I know we do get some gold yellow coloring in here as well. But I'm mainly looking to see when I put this on my nails, to what extent does this align with the color blue in the bottle? And then also how well do we get some visible nail line blurring? So let's begin. This has been such a fun series to do, and I love that you all have been enjoying it too. You know, it's always just really cool for me when I have this idea in my head and I'm like, I know this will be fun for me to do, but like, will this be fun for anybody else to watch? And then you're all like, yeah, more. So thank you all so much for like watching this series and being involved and being invested in the saga of, you know, our diva, the unreleased prototype. So I think what I'm going to do here is just like swatch all of these out first and then talk about them together. Oh, this polish is so beautiful. Yeah, I cannot wait to wear this. Definitely sometime before the summer is over. This is, I tend to be in many ways a seasonal polish wearer, but like dark vampy stuff is like a year-round thing for me. But something like this, I absolutely would put in more of the like spring, summer months. Okay, so looking at this here, I think that between the Probelle and the Londontown, looking pretty similar in terms of their coverage. What's interesting to me is that like when I angle my fingers at pretty much the exact same kind of like curvature right here, do you see how like you can pick up on more of the gold in that in the D&D one? And let me just move my finger over here just to make sure it's not like a positioning thing. No, it's, yeah, I think it's because with this one being more sheer underneath, we're not getting as much of that just blue coming through in the overall look of the polish. So, yeah, and because of that, we are picking up still on more yellow over here than we get with the blue there. So let's see if that might change if I do a second coat. Not so much. I mean, I'm still getting like a swampy vibe on the left one. Let's see how the others build up. Yeah, I think with these other two, it's just going to be pretty much the same as they were the first coat. Like pretty good coverage and not seeing any visible nail line here. So yeah, definitely the Probelle and the Londontown here are doing the best in terms of both. Well, they're doing the best in terms of neutralizing the yellow color underneath. I think that the D&D is doing okay as a blurring base, but I think this could be, once again, a good option for anyone who wants some blurring, but not a whole lot. So let's go ahead and get wrapped up with some final thoughts that I have.
So for some final thoughts on each of these, I'll say that I don't think that any of these three are going to be my top overall pick in the final video once I film that. However, to compare the three of them to one another right now, I would say that the D&D option would be one that I would recommend if it's the case that you're already planning to shop with D&D lacquer, especially if they're having a sale. And if they, this is only $8 on its by itself. So still $8 for 18 milliliters is pretty good. However, I didn't get the best coverage out of this. So for that reason, I think that if you are looking for a neutralizer where you are, wanting to have not a whole lot of coverage and maybe you don't have as much nail staining, this could be a good option. I'll also mention that in all of these tests, I wasn't testing for anything related to wear time or longevity. So keep that in mind, that this is not advertised or intended to be a base coat. So if you do choose to go with this option, you may still want to wear your regular base coat underneath it. Okay, next, the Probelle nail concealer. This one surprised me by how well it performed, especially seeing how it looked when I saw it in the bottle. This would be my recommended option if you are in a pinch and you need a reliable neutralizer in 2 days. You can't get it anywhere else, in person, and you don't necessarily want to wait to get it from an indie brand, which could take most likely a little bit longer. That would be why I would recommend this one. I at this price point, I wouldn't recommend it as your overall go-to one outside of that scenario. But again, if you are looking for one that works well, that isn't too expensive, the Probelle one would be the option. Okay. I'm trying to find something good to say about the Londontown one, other than, it did give me the most opacity, which is something that I have been looking for throughout this series. So I'll give it that. But y'all, $20 for a 12 milliliter bottle, I'll just say I will be using up every single last drop of this, but I don't anticipate purchasing it again, just because there are so many other options out there that perform just as well, if not better, and where I can get more in the bottle and for paying less. So I'm glad that I gave it a try, so that any of you who happen to come across this on Amazon or anywhere else, you don't have to be curious and wonder if it's going to be worth your $20. Again, if you're shopping on Amazon and you need something in a pinch and it's between these two, the difference is just barely there for the most part. So I would recommend the Probelle over the Londontown. You're gonna get pretty much the same level of performance. Okay, so stay tuned at some point soon. It's not going to be the next video that I post on my channel, but coming soon, I will be posting my final thoughts over this entire neutralizer journey that we have been on. And so if you aren't already subscribed and you want to make sure you don't miss out on that, I encourage you to click and subscribe. Welcome to the family, all that good stuff. And thank you all again for giving the suggestions and input throughout this whole series. It really has helped to shape this into something that I know I've been personally invested in seeing how things progress. And so be on the lookout for that final thoughts video coming soon. And until then, thank you all once more for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.